What's up guys, my name is Prosper and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about what is in my camera bag. And first off is my camera, of course, which is the Sony a6300. I chose this camera because it shoots 120 frames per second, which allows me to slow down the videos and post and make some dope slow motion. Second thing that I chose the camera is because it shoots log, and this gives me more room to play around with it when I want to do my color grading. The next thing that is in my bag is my go-to lens almost all the time, and this is the Sony SEL 16mm f2.8. I chose this lens because it's the widest that I could get with my budget, and of course because it's a Sony lens, it gives me autofocus when I'm using it on a gimbal. Next lens that is in my bag is the Rokinon 85mm t1.5. This is a good portrait lens and it has good depth of field. Next lens that is in my bag is the good old Nifty 50. If you've ever shot on Canon, you've used this lens before. This is a good old lens and it opens up to 1.8, which gives you good bokeh. Next lens that is in my bag is the Minolta 35mm, which is a vintage lens. This lens gives you a dreamy look, though I barely use it, but I think it's a good old vintage lens. Next items in my bag are my ND filters. I have two of those. The first one is the K&F Concept 72mm variable ND, which I think is 2:16. More is not written. I pair this with the Rokinon 85mm whenever I'm shooting outside, and it just gives me more dynamic range. And the next ND filter that I have is this Rise UK 2-400 variable ND filter. These are used with the Sony 16mm, and it just gives me more dynamic range, which makes the footage look more professional, cinematic, I guess. You can choose. Next up is my drone, which is the Mavic Air. I just love this little guy because it's tiny. It can pretty much fit in my palm. This was a Fly More combo, which means it came with 3 batteries. Another cool item that came with the drone is this little guy here, which is the Mavic Air battery to power bank adapter. So what you do with this is you just connect it to the battery, put your charging cable, and then you've got a power bank. Normally I charge with batteries that are used up because you don't want to waste your battery charging your phone anyway. Next up is my gimbal, which is the Zhiyun Crane 2. This is pretty much a good gimbal and it allows me to shoot with heavier setups. I've used this with a Canon 5D Mark II with a 24-105, and it was functioning properly. I got the gimbal together with this Zhiyun Crane 2 Servo Follow Focus Kit, and I pretty much use this with mainly the Rokinon 85mm. Next up is my memory card case. It allows you to put SD cards as well as micro SD cards in here. It's pretty cheap as well. I think I bought it for $1 on AliExpress. For my audio, I use the Tascam DR40X, and this is what I'm using to record right now together with the Boya by One loud mic. It has internal mics, and also it has an XLR and 1/4-inch jack, which allows me to record on pretty much everything. So if I want to record from a mixer, if I want to record straight from the recorder, I could get pretty much good audio wherever I am. I also bring with me a windshield just in case I have to record in windy situations. So next up is the Boya by One lapel, which I'm using to record right now together with the Tascam, and I love this because of the price point, I guess, and it also allows you to record straight from your mobile phone. So it has this little switch which allows you to change from recording from a camera or from your mobile phone. Next up is my laptop, which I use to edit on the go. This is an old Dell E7540. This here is 8 GB of RAM and a 256 gig SSD, which allows me to just do my preliminary edits, and then I'll come back and finish on a bigger machine when I get home. I carry this together with an external hard drive, which I use to store stuff when I'm on the go. And it's not an SSD, it's an just a normal external hard drive, and it works pretty well for my workflow. So that's it guys, in terms of what is in my camera bag. If you have any questions with regards to anything that I talked about in this video, you can hit me up in the comments and I'll be happy to answer. If you would like to see more content like this, hit me in the comments again and we can see what we can do. Thanks for watching guys. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and you can see more content like this. Balance the game. My go-to lens, which is the Sony. Yeah, got it. When I want to shoot, I don't know why I bought it. Yeah, I cut that.